I'm streaming. I didn't mute you guys, so. Well, maybe I'm streaming. Who knows? The following is a public service announcement. Ken, king of the golf course, watch out for that hole. Watch out for that hole. Ken, king of the golf course, watch out for that hole. Ah! Kids, don't try this at home. Take it from an expert. Take it from a non-expert of 3.5 milliseconds of experience. It hurts! By the way, this was not the hole I fell in at the fairground.
Hello, I want to point out things that Ken the Stout does. He owes it all to Doug Betts, including being confused and not knowing what he is doing.
From jolly old England, Darren Gilhome. From Oceanside, California, Tony Wallow. From Great Mills, Maryland, Grumpy Greg Guy.
Somebody new in change.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, it's time for Ken Stout Live.
All right, Greg, you got to mute it now. We are actually live with Zoom up and running. And I've got to get some audio confirmations. I know Zoom can hear me, and I can hear Zoom. And hello, everybody. Welcome into Friday night, August 11th, 2023. Ken Stout Live with the Zoom homies. The Zoom homies with Ken Stout Live. I am still your host, Ken Stout Live, and I'm still here. So we have William, we have Greg, who actually chuckled at me making fun of him by saying Grumpy Greg Guy. I guess that's his seal of approval for that. And Chris Garrett, who was complaining with 1 minute to go that I was not here yet. Hello, boys, gentlemen.
Hello.
And Greg.
Hello.
And I gotta go check on chat here. Tony says normal. Rick says hello. And Mrs. Lady Red Sparkle. Not seen that name before. That's new. I saw Richard Rogers was in chat earlier, I thought. I literally woke up at 8:49. And I came in here and I threw together, and it's a horrible job of the first, second, and third. I hope to have that fine-tuned by Monday. Tomorrow is going to be worse than today in many respects, but then again, it's going to be so much better than today because today just cannot be repeated. Today was the day from, as the old slapstick humor goes, H-E double hockey sticks. It was horrible. It started out when we were going to go to Burger King to get the free sandwiches that we were promised. We didn't get the sandwiches we were promised. the young lady that was working that day was working today, and she says, "Oh, you got to pull forward, sir. We got to talk to you about that at the window." As soon as she said that, I knew we weren't getting the sandwiches. I had already had a premonition we weren't getting the sandwiches anyway, but no big deal. She says, "My general manager and I talked to," and I swore up and down. I said, "You may have what you watched and what I got are two different things. Sir, don't talk to me in that tone of voice. I kid you not." That was her response to me saying what I just said. I said, "You know what? Just forget it." So then a part of me that just couldn't let it go said, "What time does the real manager get here?" Because she had alluded to the fact she was the second assistant manager. Not something you want to tell me at 6:30 in the morning, trust me. So, oh, he'll be here at 7. Thank you very little. Went home. I sat here until 7 o'clock, and at 7:15 I called. And, of course, said general manager is not there. And second assistant general manager answered the phone. And then she was like, "What are you going to do, yell at him?" I'm like, "Ma'am, I never yelled at you. I have a naturally loud voice. And I understand now why, because for years I couldn't hear. It just makes sense. Whatever. Well, I don't know what time he's going to be here. So I'll never eat at that particular Burger King again. Let me go catch up on chat. Anyway, tomorrow's going to be better. My mom's getting dropped off about noon, and she's going to go home about 8, which means I'll be jumping through hoops again for the tomorrow night show. Darren Gilholm was first. Tony Watt was second. Great Guy was third. He still thinks we're up to something fishy.
That's right.
Yeah, Greg was here. He's about 20th, or Jeff said he's about 20th place or so. I got him as 5th. Rick Lakes, John Loy Sr. says, "Good to see me back." It is good to be back, John. Thank you very much. Good evening. Just finished mowing the lawn. Yeah, I've got to do that this weekend, but I'm going to put it off as long as I can. Let's see. Richard Rogers. Hello, Richard. Mrs. Lady Red Sparkle 111. That name is not ringing a bell to me. Not that I would need... Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't start the studio tonight. I am that far out of doing what I do that I didn't even start the studio. But apparently the studio didn't have to be running to be broadcasting because here we are.
You're out of time.
I wasn't sure I was going to make it or not. Ren Israel dropped a link for Transformers Age of Extinction. I'll watch that later. It says he's something to the effect of he's back. I'll check that out later on tonight. Let me reopen that link. I don't want to... And Long Dog has joined us. He was out in the urban jungle today, charting and running around, foraging, if you will, in the urban jungle. Drove by the Palm Springs Airport and parked next to a fence. Was a military Osprey. He took several full... How do you email them? Just send them to me in the email. I did actually ask when the real manager was going to be there. Then I came to the conclusion that if Burger King seriously wants to haggle over a $2.50 sandwich, let them. You know? I realize me and Mrs. K not eating there is not going to affect their business one little ion or one little bit, but I'm not going to argue over $2.50. Just ridiculous.
I was going to say call the district manager, but I wouldn't even worry about it.
Well, Chris, so it's funny you should say that, because right after I called it, a little after 7-ish, 7:15 or whatever it was, I looked up Burger King's corporate information, which is out of Miami, Florida. They have an 866 number that is for customer service. Yes, this is going to be perfect. However, the hours are 9 a.m. to 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, which is an hour behind me. So now I've got a dilemma. Do I sit here and twiddle my thumbs and wait till 9, or do I do what I did, which I went in, laid down, and woke up, and I finally ended up calling them this afternoon. Here's the irony of that. You don't talk. It says to talk to a person. You don't get to talk to a person. It says you have 5 choices. Every one of them are go to the website, go to the website, go to the website, go to the website. You do not get to talk to a real person. So I'm like, you know, that's the whole point of calling corporate office. I just want to let them know that, people make mistakes. I get it. You might think you pick up sandwich A and you pick up sandwich C or whatever. They look alike. But don't tell me, and she really insulted me because she said, well, you don't know what it looks like. I took the sandwiches apart. I had two sandwiches, one here and one here, and this one looked different than this one. They were the exact same two sandwiches, supposedly. Anyway, then let's just add injury to insult today. My internet decides it wants to
Slow down.
Actually, it decided that it was going to go through some Alex Chiche jizz. So I get a hold of AT&T and I say, what in the good God's name of what's going on with my internet? Well, let us check that out for you, sir. I said, whatever you do, do not reboot about the time they rebooted the router. Been a fun day. But I am looking forward to tomorrow. Mom will be here for a little over 8 hours, and I'm going to try to see if I can get an interview set up with her. That's probably not going to be successful, but I'm going to try.
I was talking about with the corporate is there's probably a regional office, but it's probably not worth it now.
Oh,
it's probably
it's
like
not.
A regional office for like maybe they have one man has 10 restaurants if he's over.
Well, and then you run into the fact that this could be a franchisee. This could not even be a corporate store. It could be franchised out. And I have found over the years dealing with the franchise stores, they don't care. They pay their $50,000, $100,000, whatever it is, to have the franchise, and then they don't care. So anyway,
Kroger has a zone office, and then they have a division office, and then they have the corporate office.
Gee, good Lord. Oh, One Fish 26 Sam joins us over in the chat room. Hello, Sam.
Yeah, Ken, they got too many people. They got too much upper management at Kroger.
Well, this is clearly interesting enough. I just went into the studio. I wanted to see what it looked like, and it does show that I'm streaming. Okay, cool. There was a reason I did that. I'm not sure what that reason was. I am clearly not prepared to do this right now. I have dinner to eat once the stream ends, and I'll just shut the camera off and eat it. Mrs. K made some kind of pork and vegetable goulash looking stuff. It looks really good, but I knew I could not get the YouTube thing done and get on to be on time, and I did not want to postpone it at all. Still sitting at 288 subscribers. Doggone it. I need 12 subscribers.
What did you do with the mini PC?
It's still sitting in the box on the floor to my left. I'm thinking about firing it up tomorrow. I'm seeing a couple things on it. I actually thought about this afternoon about running it by my mom to giving it to her so she could stream some of the stuff she likes if I can get it to do that, and then go from there. But I don't know. It's still here. It's still sitting right there. I mean, if you'd like, I can show it to you.
It's one update behind, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
More than one could have been boxed up 7 months ago.
Yeah, if nothing else, I probably ought to just get it set up, connect it, and get it updated. If nothing else.
Man, he didn't update it before he sent them out?
I have no idea. I could not tell. I didn't see the beginning of that. I didn't really see.
He did on the members only stream.
Oh, well.
Don't know.
He probably did.
You still a member, Chris?
Yeah.
Oh, my microphone just came apart.
I'm about to the point where I'm just kind of used to him. That's just him.
True. That is true.
Terry normally updates his gears where he sends them out.
I got to send the Blue Yeti back. It just fell apart.
I'll say something else. Well, I guess everybody knows anyway. That person, I won't say no names, but that person he went off on yesterday, it really wasn't. He did, but he
Yeah,
didn't do it like he usually does.
right. No, I think, and I could be wrong, and I'm not going to mention any names either, but I think it's because they go back a long ways, and you know, Kerry was just pointing out this person has their thoughts on things, Kerry has his thoughts on things, and everyone else has their thoughts on things. Um, because I think if it had been anybody else, I think he would have really went off. I mean, we all know that he has that ability to do that. So
If it had been me, he probably wouldn't. No, not since I'm a member, maybe not.
Mrs. Lady Red Sparkle 111. If you're still in chat, say something in chat, please. I haven't even gone to look up her channel yet, or his channel. I don't know if it's a male or a female. You would think with the name of Mrs. Lady Red Sparkle, but you never know these days. Better to be safe than to be sorry. Long Dog says, by the way, I contacted Burger King's main office because new Burger King in our town is 3 months old and Burger King app was still not working. I refuse to put another app on my phone. There's too many. I refuse to give up unless I absolutely have to. Any more of my personal information for things. It's just not worth it. It really is not. I'll find someplace else to eat. Do what, Chris?
I don't put all those apps on my phone.
Yeah, I fortunately had the Alexa app on my phone today because when they reset the Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi, you know, I got a little bit of Japanese in me. The Wi-Fi, when they reset the Wi-Fi, of course, it put everything to default, which changed my super long password I'd created for it. I'm like, why isn't it? Oh, it won't connect to internet. Aha. That was fun. I did get in my Grumpy Greg guy nap, though. By the way, we are changing the name of the company, Greg. No longer Naps Incorporated.
You don't have my permission. Sorry, denied.
Denied?
Yep.
Okay. English, please. Winter mute, good job. Yes, English. Today we're going to learn English. I did put that on the opening today as Friday. I didn't know if anybody caught that or not. Well, I guess we'll have to take it.
That sounds like rice fry. Sounds like Chinese fried rice or something.
Yeah, we're just poking fun, which I need everyone. I know all the homies understand that's what we do. We do have a lot of humor, a lot of fun here, poking back and forth at one another. To the outside world, it might actually look like we're picking on one another, but we're not. We're just having good old fun, humor, comedy. Except for Doug. We pick on Doug. I mean, and yes, Doug's got it coming. Doug alluded to the fact yesterday that, oh, Ken's really going to give it to me tonight. Well, when Ken gets back in, listen, Ken's talking about himself in third person now. I still have my notes. So, William, what you been up to?
Not much. Updated the Princess camera. That was fun.
And you're still
at 1,000 new, huh?
You still running 2 Princess Cam channels?
No, she ate the original one.
Oh, that's right.
You think of Kitty when it says she ate it?
You ate it.
Ate the cord right off.
Surprised she didn't get electrocuted or shocked.
It's only about 5 volts on it.
Oh, okay.
USB camera.
Yeah, it'd be like Christmas vacation.
Oh.
Whereas the new ones have 1,000 new settings on there that I didn't care about, but you got to answer questions on, or it doesn't work right.
Yeah, I went through the old questionnaire thing yesterday when I set up the account to pay for the water system that we got. I kid you not. What happened to and again, the company that I pay the money to isn't the company that the thing is financed through. They don't even have, how do I want to word this? They have a finance department, but they don't receive the money. You have to send that over here. Okay, that makes no sense. So I'm thinking, I'll call them up. What if I want to pay it off in full? Do I still have to pay it through them to go to you? That makes no sense at all. Greg, what other than the Walmart and refurbishing the house, what'd you get done today?
Watered my plants. I fertilized my plants. I mixed up some darker stain to match my computer table. It's drying. I worked on my dryer for about 2 hours. I'm just about ready to put the belt back on and put the panels back on and plug it in and watch it smoke test.
Yeah, make sure you get the belt back on.
Yeah.
You see Greg right now. He's going to get it all put back together tomorrow. He's going to turn it on, and he's going to have this belt hanging up in his hand right here, and he's going to say, wonder what that goes to.
No, it's already on the drum, and the drum is back in place in the dryer.
I know, I'm just messing with you. Chris, what have you been up to? You sent a message right before I started, something about you're not feeling too good?
Not much, really. I don't know what's wrong. I'm okay though. It could be the medicine, the antibiotic I've been on.
Well, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, and you need to have someone in your life that can tell you this. You just turned 50 recently, right?
Oh, I know, Ken. Yeah, I know.
Yep. See, you're fortunate that you have the Zoom homies because we'll keep you updated on things. Unlike my mom, who keeps forgetting to tell me some of these ailments in life that I'm going to experience. Of course, I might do the same thing with my kids. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Can you guys hear me tapping those fingers? The keys when I type?
No.
These things must be super sensitive then, because I can hear. I've never heard them until I got these hearing aids. And you still can't see them, right?
No.
That's cool. That is cool. Well, I feel like I have something running down my forehead. I actually found a stitch today. I'm not going to try to take them out just yet, but I actually, when I was cleaning it up, I was like, oh, that's a stitch. Somehow I got to find 4 more of those and go from there.
Don't take them out yet.
Oh, I'm not. He said 7 to 10 days, and I'm literally probably going to wait until next Friday. And if it's not 100% cut and dry, there's a knot, I will go back down to the VA and have them remove them. Not that big of a deal for me to try to play Dr. Ken. Be my luck. Oh, look, there's one there, and I'll cut it, I'll rip it, and then I'll have it go all the way across my forehead. Speaking of that, this is kind of for mature audiences, if you will. I was in there looking at it today before I got ready to clean it, and I seen his hair coming down, like right here. Wait a minute. Cameras are backwards. Like right here, coming off my forehead down to my eye. And it went right through this junk. I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting. So I grabbed it up here at my forehead, and I pulled it. And when I pulled it, it brought a chunk of all this stuff here off with it. I'm like, well, that's kind of different. So...
Yeah.
But it's doing a lot better. I don't even have a Band-Aid up tonight. It's just warm in here. I didn't even check our temperature outside. Long Dog says, do what, William?
Probably hot.
It's warm. I had intended to. It's 80 degrees still at 9:30 at night. It's a little tad bit warm. 50% chance of rain tomorrow. That's fine. Other than Mom coming over. Playing golf on Tuesday. My golfing partner, buddy Jake, called me today, wanted to know how I was doing. I said, I'm doing fine. And he asked me, do I feel like playing golf? I said, I do. Let's shoot for Tuesday. I think by Tuesday I will be repaired enough and everything else so that I can play. And then he was like, well, I want you to know you might have some competition. I'm like, okay. I shot a 71 again yesterday. Best I've ever shot on a course is 78. Now,
Jim's doing BIOS update and let's see, Windows update at the same time.
because he's stark raving mad.
I've done 3 computers this week. 3 of my computers this week a BIOS update.
I haven't even looked to see if I have one. I figure if I need one, it will tell me I need one. And when that point in time comes, I'll get a hold of that technician out of Arkansas and see what he can do for me.
Well, I try to avoid doing it through Windows updates. I know it's never failed, but a lot of people say it's called capsule update. They call it capsule update. A lot of people say it's failed on there. I don't know. I had never had that.
I did get one update today. I didn't pay any attention to what it was. I just saw that I had an update. I had
You
something.
might have already had that version update installed, Chris. It
what
won't.
now?
It won't. You might already had that version update installed on your system. That's why it canceled it out.
What happens
Yeah.
with Dale? It's got like a number. They got like a number like 1.30.20 or whatever. Microsoft will put a 0 in front of that 1. It will be 0.1, but Dell don't do that. I don't know. And sometimes it will see the update when you already got it because there's that extra 0. And nobody's never really answered why Microsoft is doing that. Contacted Dell, and the other people on the Dell forums have contacted them, and they can't get an answer. But they add that extra 0, Microsoft does, and it makes it show up even when you got it. Weird.
You're saying that about Dale. I know you mean Dell, Dale.
Yeah, Dell.
Greg, did you see where the character from King of the Hill passed away? The guy that played Dale, Dale, Boomhauer. I think his name was Boomhauer, right, Chris?
Yesterday.
Yeah, it's been a day or two ago. He was only 64. That really hit home. I didn't know they had a remake in the process. Of course, again, they're remaking everything these days, it seems like.
Back to the Future has a remake, don't they?
Back to the Future?
Or they
With McFly, Marty and
either
McFly?
a reboot. They either got a reboot. What's a reboot? Where they just put it back out again?
No, well, it depends. I mean, you could look at it a couple different ways. Putting it back out would be a reboot, but I think a reboot is when they just do the entire series over again. I think. But I could be wrong.
It won't be as good.
Well, no, of course not. They never are. Now, I will say, Justified, Detroit Primeval is really good. I was skeptical because I too thought, it's been how many years since it went off the air. I really figured they were going to struggle. It's like they did not miss. It's like they ended 5 years ago and picked it right back up and didn't miss anything. So highly recommended if you like that type of show. It's like Sons of Anarchy. I like Sons of Anarchy, but I could not ever get into Mayans. Now, I did watch the final series finale of Mayans because they tied Mayans into the Sons of Anarchy and to a couple other things that were kind of sketchy. And it did have a rather shocking ending. I was kind of went one time, Did not see, as the saying goes, I did not see that coming. So
Didn't Christopher Lloyd pass away too?
No, I think Christopher Lloyd's still alive. Isn't he? I mean, I don't know. Christopher Lloyd. He is 84 years old. He was born October 22nd, 1938 in Stamford, Connecticut.
Yeah.
Apparently he's had the same spouse since 2016. Lisa something or another, I can't say the last name. 6'1". I didn't realize he was that tall. Excuse me. Now, she does not give her age. That's shocking. Nope, Christopher Lloyd is still alive, Chris.
Okay.
Doesn't look like he's in, I mean, he looks horrible, but then again, at 80-some years old, you're not supposed to look good unless you got a lot of money, can afford the plastic surgery. Alex went to the greatest buffet in the world today. In Arkansas, by the way. Did not send any pictures. He did send me a novel and a half of 3 paragraphs about he couldn't enjoy the food because of burning his mouth yesterday on the hot pizza. He said, but they have food there for everybody. I went to the website. It looked all right. Kind of hoping Brian Lightfoot shows up tonight. I want to make sure I re-thank him. He helped me install the program that identifies and renames your photographers, your photos, and has been a lifesaver. I sat here for a couple hours today and messed around with that a little bit. And then when you change something, when you renaming it, can somebody say something?
Something.
Thank you. Thought my hearing aids had gone out. I know they're charged, but I don't know about the microphone right here. Anyway, when you change even the name, it's almost like you change the location. So when you change the name and location, it really makes OBS frustrated. But that thing that program that it's part of Adobe that he told me to use is so easy to find stuff. I sat here, I probably had 35 missing files, and it took me about maybe 5 minutes to find them. It's just so cool. I do plan on doing a demonstration on that coming up next week on moving them, renaming them, and then going and finding them using that specific program. No DaVinci though, Greg, not yet.
Better not.
I've been messing around in DaVinci though, doggone it. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Doesn't seem to be an issue tonight though, but I didn't make co-host, man. Oh, I am so slipping. I have to put myself in the waiting room. Speaking of waiting room, you guys do realize that Zoom runs all the time and you can join all the time, right?
Yeah.
And all someone has to do is, I can't think of what it's called, but click on the host key, I believe it is.
Claim
right?
host.
Pardon?
Claim host.
Claim host, yes, thank you. Yeah, you guys you realize that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because Alex mentioned something about it the other day. I'm like, I've not changed anything. It should still be there.
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow we can test it just to make sure it still works. But I also understand you guys have not been being bombarded either. I also understand you guys have not been being bombarded either.
Jesus Christ, $95 for that. I paid $13.
I'll figure that joke out one of these days. Hello, Jim.
It's alive. It's alive.
And your t-shirt today doesn't have anything cute or catchy. Oh, okay, Star Trek. I can make out the Star Trek. I cannot make out what's underneath the crew. I see a Star Trek crew member. I do not know what's in between it.
Yeah, that's the cruise 2.
Oh, okay, from your cruise, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
Back of the shirt has all of the people who were attending.
Are you able to stand up?
Oh, okay. Sorry. Hang on. You're not going to be able to see it very well.
Yeah, I realized that. I was going to say, oh, there were 35 people on the cruise. Okay. You're talking about the actors and actresses that were attending,
Correct.
Right? Okay.
Correct.
I knew that. I might be as smart as I look. I mean, as dumb as I look.
Yeah, well, at least you don't look like Rodney King anymore.
That's true. I don't. Who was I? Somebody today I was talking to about my eyes. They were like, "Oh man, that looked really scary." I'm like, "Yeah, I guess it really did." I mean, when you wake up and your eyes are, bulging like the creature from the lagoon or whatever. Although he never really did have bulgy eyes, did he?
That I remember.
He was just a lizard, more or less. We're kind of on a movie theme tonight.
Oh, okay.
Got anything you'd like to? Oh, look, presents.
Yeah. Yeah. Stuff.
We all need more stuff.
All right.
Oh, we got a box too. Oh, we got a spotlight this. And a dangerous weapon.
Maybe.
Depends on whose hands it's in.
Yes. If it's in the wife's hands, yeah, it's a dangerous weapon.
Glad you said that. Ooh.
He got a motherboard.
Yeah. I think he got in the stuff he was explaining to us that he had on the way.
Yes. Motherboard came today. The rest of the stuff came Wednesday. Yeah, I think it's Wednesday.
Yeah, when I built my computer, it trickled in over about a 3-day period, which was really rough because I didn't want to do anything until I got everything. Not that I knew exactly what I was doing because I had no idea what I was doing, but I figured it'd be better to have everything there at one time.
I was pretty much everything because I got most everything from Newegg when I built mine.
I think I got everything of mine from Amazon, if I remember correctly. Okay, would you like to hold all that up and since you're spotlighted and explain to us what? Oh, look, he can move the camera. He's sophisticated, ladies and gentlemen. I'd be going, look, here it is.
Yeah, I are a genius. Yes, I know.
Yeah, if we could just put all of our knowledges together. Well, not all of our knowledges. We can leave a couple people out.
This is the platform upgrade for the NAS.
And how much memory?
16.
Okay.
That's all it needs. Actually, the NAS is running off of 8 at the moment. If this is my ongoing, replace everything that has DDR3 with something that's newer.
Okay.
Because the NAS is running off of a 2-core processor that was released in 2012. Yeah, 2012. So it's time.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll go probably into electronic recycling. I can't imagine I'm going to do anything else with it at this point.
Are you going to record and upload when you do this?
I was considering doing a live stream on it. I'm not sure yet if I want to do that.
I had a hard drive to die on it in NAS.
Something hard drive and NAS. That's all I call it.
Sound like he said he had a hard drive die on a NAS.
Never had the hard drive to die.
Oh, you've never had one dry. Oh, well,
you're talking about. I'm asking, have you?
Oh, have I? Oh, I'm sorry. Have I? Okay. On the current NAS, no. On the previous iteration of this thing, yes. I carried over some desktop hard drives, a pair of IDE drives, believe it or not, and a pair of much newer, at the time, much newer SATA hard drives. Now, the IDE hard drives were 400 gig each, and that was a pair, so in Zoom RAID 1. And I added the two 1 terabyte SATA drives also in their own RAID 1. And that's how I ran it for a while. And believe it or not, both of the SATA drives failed, not at the same time, but they failed within a year of each other. So, like, I had one of the terabyte SATA drives die, had to replace it, rebuild the array. And roughly about a year, maybe a year and a half at the most, the other one died and had to rebuild the array. But those were all desktop drives. Funnily enough, though, when I finally pulled those IDE 400 gigabyte drives out of service, they were 13 years old and there wasn't a damn thing wrong with them. Under the adage of they don't build them like they used to.
I was talking to somebody yesterday that wants to get all of their mechanical drives updated into either solid state, or NVMe or whatever it is.
Right.
I apologize for the avatar. I'm having a hearing aid issue, and I'm about to have a big hearing aid issue because I can't get this part that's supposed to just pop right off to pop off so I can figure out what's going on.
But yeah,
been a day from hell.
Yeah, it's time. Actually I built the system in 2015. The processor, like I said, was released in 2012. So the processor was already 3 years old when I decided I was going to use it. But it is now 2023. So it's time.
Yep. I don't think that accomplished what it was supposed to. Now, it could be the volume button that is supposed to be on here is not working. The right hearing aid keeps cutting in and out. I know they're fully charged. That's the one thing I do religiously make sure of. I put them in their charger at night. Don't need it to be... I don't need to hear all the creaky little noises in the house at night. And probably drive me up a wall anyway.
Right. Now, again, it's one of those things where I caught stuff on sale. The memory was nothing. The memory I don't even think was $30. DDR4 is just like insanely cheap. But the processor was on sale for $89. The motherboard was another $80. So you're looking at roughly $190 to replace the platform. So that's not too bad.
Long Dog just sent me a picture from the of the Osprey. I'm keeping hearing this noise. I'm like, what's that noise? Oh yeah, it's my phone. It's giving me notifications. It seems to be a little better. Maybe I jarred something back into the place it's supposed to be. We almost went to the state fair tonight, but then with the way the day had gone, I said, nah, that's not going to happen. We're not going for a concert. Tonight would have been about the only group I would have wanted to see. Gin Blossoms were there. I actually know who the Gin Blossoms are. I think they had like one hit. Jim was laughing because I know who the Gin Blossoms are. Of course, I could be wrong. They might have had several hits and I just don't know what I'm talking about. I do know, though, that the Monkees did not record the song Help.
Well, there's that. There you go.
I'm not going to let him live that down.
And neither should you.
It says they're a rock band. Hey, Jealousy. I think maybe that might have been their one and only hit. That rings a bell for some reason.
Don't ring a bell with me.
It's just a different type of music. They formed in '87 out of Tempe and took them 5 years. And yeah, their first single hit, Hey, Jealousy. That's what I thought. A lot of bands like that had good music, one or two songs, and that was it. So if Long Dog gives me permission, I might share that picture if I can figure out how to get to it. There comes Mr. I'm Never Late, always on time to the show.
Probably that new rock. they got out. Well, it's been out.
I don't know what
Late
genre
80s,
they
early
were called
90s.
on back then.
Grunge.
No, I don't think they were grunge. I think grunge was more Wintermute dropped the link. I think grunge was more Nirvana. When I think of grunge, I think of Nirvana.
You can call me late to the show all you want to, Ken, but just don't call me late for supper.
But we all know you're not ever. If there's food involved,
Oh God, no, he's never
you're
late.
never going to be late. You'll be there 5 days early. You'll probably be calling the cook wanting to know when's it going to be done.
That's
right.
Right.
That's like if you serve food for church, half the county gonna be there. You serve food at church.
Or even worse, if you have like we had our singing the other night at church, if you have a singing and then everybody stays for food after the concert's over, it's like the church is full, but then nobody shows up for Sunday morning. But a good majority of those people that were there probably have their own churches that they go to.
Wow,
That's
you
when
must
you
have
have
a lot
the
of
singer
churches.
and the mute in the church service the same day.
Yeah, that's true. So how was your buffet?
It's good. I wasn't disappointed in the quality or quantity of the food. They had everything there that you can imagine. And after 4 o'clock they even have ribs and steak. But because we weren't there after 4 o'clock, they didn't have that. But it still was disappointing. But what was rather disappointing to me was my fault, and was that because I burnt my mouth yesterday on that pizza, it was kind of hard to eat certain things because my mouth still kind of tore up from eating that volcano hot pizza. But that's my fault. But other than that, the food was really good. They had more food than anybody knows what to do with. Full salad bar, taco bar, chicken, pot roast, shrimp, every kind of dessert you could imagine.
Alex, when you get older, you might not be able to eat that's scalding hot. The older you get, it might be worse, harder it is to eat it.
Well, I learned my lesson eating that hot pizza yesterday, and then trying to go over there and eat today. It was a little challenging because I didn't realize how bad I butchered the roof of my mouth up.
Did you butcher it or burn it? There's a difference.
Yeah, I burned it.
Okay, let's make sure we explain it correctly. Some people will get confused.
I burned it real well.
Yeah, so you like to have the roof of your mouth real well, not medium well, just real well?
Yeah, motor hot cheese will burn you easily.
Oh yeah, yeah. Here's the burning question, no pun intended. When you took a bite of the hot pizza and it burnt your mouth, did you take the piece of pizza out of your mouth, or did you go, I've already burnt my mouth, and continue to eat?
The second option.
I figured as much.
There's a shocker.
You know I can't.
Exactly.
You know I can't. You know I can't let it cool off, especially with pizza. If there's one food I want boiling hot out of the oven or off the stove, it's pizza. I can't stand leftover cold, microwaved, however you want to heat it up, unless you put it in the oven or put it in the air fryer.
You don't like cold pizza?
No.
Oh, that's waiting room
I don't like
material.
cold. I don't like
I'd
cold.
choose my next words wisely.
I don't like cold or microwave pizza. It has to be oven or air fryer or
love cold pizza.
Or eat it all fresh right out of the oven when you first make it.
Yeah, except you let it cool down a little bit.
Yeah, pizza the next day is just as good as the first day.
Yes. Not warmed up.
No, it's not either.
I think that's one of the few foods I like cold is pizza. And I have found, I do have to unfortunately agree with Alex on this. If you microwave it, it tends to make the crust a little soggy. So I don't like.
I like it. I guess I like it hard as a brick. Cause that's the way. That's how my mom and dad described it yesterday when she was eating it. Is it hard? I said, "How was the pizza?" She said, "Hard." So that's the way I like it. Nice and browned and crispy and thin. I'm not a fan of normal thick crust pizza. Never have been.
Unfortunately, we have that in common too. Doggone, I got to start changing some things. Next $1 million question: how many times did you call Pulaski County Sheriff's Department today?
None.
What?
None.
Did your phone service go out? Was your internet out?
No, my phone service didn't go out. But guess who else I didn't call today or get a call from today?
Give me one hint.
Starts with the J.
Gosh.
I would say Josh.
Yes, you would be correct.
Yeah, that's. So what's
but you know what I did? You know what I did get today?
No.
I got a call from an 800 number, and instead of hitting the screen that I didn't recognize, and instead of hitting the screen call button like I should have done, I answered the phone. But you'll never guess what it was.
Josh?
No.
Okay.
A fax machine. So I heard beep, beep, beep.
Oh, God, now he does sound effects. Oh, good Lord.
The fax machine tone right in my ear.
Well, yeah, I mean, could have been worse. It could have been the fax machine tone right in your mouth that was burnt from the pizza. So anyway, what did Josh want?
Josh didn't want anything today.
Stunning.
The last thing he wanted was he wanted to know about how to keep his monitor from getting stolen, like what I mentioned to you last night.
Right. Did he finally get a hold of someone that brought it in the group home?
No idea. What I was going to tell him is that the only way I would think that he'd be able to see that is if they had security cameras at the group home. And even if they do, I know for a fact he don't have access to them. So he would have to get somebody at the group home to look at the camera for him if he suspects it was stolen. But something tells me that I don't think they have cameras at the group home.
No idea. None whatsoever. Well, he hadn't heard from him saying that he didn't get it, so maybe he got it. I don't know. I do know that Doug is going to show him how to upload a video tomorrow on YouTube.
Why can't he upload it? What's going on?
Apparently he keeps getting some kind of error message. I don't know. I have no idea.
Uploaded videos before.
I know. And I was kind of shocked the other night when I think it was Alex was telling me that Josh was asking for help how to upload from his phone. He's done that before too. So I do not know. I do know when he was playing Fortnite today, he let Zinjack back in.
He played Fortnite 5 hours.
He did a carry?
Yes.
Wow. That's a long time to play Fortnite. I struggled at about 35 minutes. It was not my game. I mean, I'm just not Now, 5 years from now, who knows? Maybe I might like it, but I doubt it. So we're coming up on the hour. I want to thank everyone for being here. We got about 5 minutes to go. Except if you're going to go with Alex this time, and we have about 45 minutes to go, but Mr. I'm never late to anything. It has nothing to do with food. I want to thank Darren for being first. Tony, Greg, William, Jeff, John Aloy Sr. It's good to see you as always. One Fish was there. Richard Rogers, hope to see him in Zoom one of these days. I do know he's got the creds, and hopefully they are the right creds. There's always a possibility I sent the wrong ones. Mrs. Lady Red Sparkle, been around since the beginning of the year, and she's already got about 270 some odd subscribers, so congratulations to her on that. Hope to see her back. Did not see any other comments. Ren Israel is there, and currently it is pushing 5 o'clock in the morning in Rand's neck of the woods. That is super early. Wintermute was there, dropped a link for Jim Blossoms. Mr. I Live Dangerously too. Jim was there. Rick Lakes, and we will see everyone tomorrow night. I should be on time. My sister is aware to pick Mom up by 8 o'clock, so I don't see that there will be any issues being on time tomorrow night unless I oversleep, and I'm not going to try to catch a nap in an hour. So thanks everyone. Zoom will be running. Oh, shoot, now my son decides to say anything. Anyway, Stout Z00M@gmail.com if you'd like to join us on Zoom. Good night. See you tomorrow on Doug's. And of course, hopefully here.